Ever find yourself like really getting into those late night study sessions? The ones fueled by coffee, maybe a little desperation. Ever think, hey, I could actually get paid for this?
It's wild, right? It's like those kitchen table cram sessions we all had are suddenly a global phenomenon. Online tutoring is booming, and it's not just about rescuing students from failing grades anymore.
No, not at all. It seems like people are connecting all over the world to learn literally everything. Like you could find a tutor for quantum physics, or probably even like brewing the perfect cup of coffee. And the really interesting thing is they're willing to pay for it, which I'm sure is on your mind, right?
Yeah.
This whole idea of maybe diving into this world. So we're doing a deep dive today on online tutoring,
hmm
looking specifically at how to get started and what it actually takes to succeed.
And of course, we have to break down some of the most popular platforms, right? We'll look at Preply, Chegg Tutors, see what might be the best fit for different people.
Exactly. Let's say you're fluent in French, right? And you really enjoy explaining grammar. Preply might be your jam.
Totally. Preply is known for its language learning focus. They have everything from like Spanish to German to, well, okay, maybe not Klingon yet, but you never know. The cool thing about Preply is their commission structure. They do take a percentage of your earnings, but the more you teach, the lower it goes. We're talking as low as 18%.
Okay, so the more students you have, the more money you keep. That's a pretty sweet deal, especially if you're serious about building a side income or even like a full-time tutoring business. Now, what about Chegg Tutors? Is that where all the math whizzes hang out, the ones who secretly love the quadratic formula?
You know it. Chegg Tutors is definitely more geared towards math and science. They're big on test prep too, so if you're the type who likes to guide someone through the SATs, the GREs, all that fun stuff, Chegg is a good bet.
And how does the pay work on Chegg? Is it commission-based too, or?
Chegg keeps it simple, flat hourly rate, averaging around $20 an hour. Now I know what you might be thinking. $20 an hour? I could make more just going solo.
Right, especially if you get years of experience.
Exactly. But, and this is key, Chegg Tutors takes care of all the stuff that can be a real pain when you're on your own. The marketing, finding students, handling payments. They handle all that.
Okay, so that $20 an hour starts to look a lot better when you consider all the time and stress you're saving on the admin side of things.
100%. Plus, they're a well-known platform, so you've got instant credibility, a built-in student base, all that good stuff.
Really good point. Why do you think online tutoring is blowing up like this, though? Like, what's driving this whole trend?
Honestly, it's a bunch of things coming together. First off, flexibility is king these days, right?
Oh, absolutely.
People want that work-life balance, and online tutoring really delivers on that. Imagine this: setting your own hours, teaching from your couch, a coffee shop, heck, even a beach in Bali if you want.
Wifey permitting, of course.
Yeah.
But I love the image. And it's not just about where you work. It's about being able to create a schedule that fits your life, whether you're a night owl or, like me, more of an early bird.
Precisely. And you can't forget the global aspect, right? You could literally be tutoring someone in Tokyo before lunch and then that evening helping a student in Argentina ace their exams. It's like having a passport to the world without ever leaving your desk chair.
Talk about expanding your horizons. It's not just teaching. It's a cultural exchange, which is really cool. What about the tech side of things? No more dusty chalkboards and those markers that squeak, right?
Gone. We're in the future now.
Hmm.
Interactive whiteboards, file sharing. Some platforms even use virtual reality tools. It's like show and tell for grown-ups, but way more high tech.
Okay, let's talk money. We've danced around it a bit, but for someone like you who's thinking about this as a side hustle or even a full-time career, what's the earning potential really look like?
Well, like anything, it varies. Depends on your experience, the subjects you teach, how much time you put in, but
There's always a but.
but experienced tutors on these platforms, particularly in high-demand fields, things like STEM, languages, those tutors can do very well. Think $30, $50 an hour, sometimes even more.
Wow, okay, so this isn't just coffee money. We're potentially talking about replacing a full-time income.
Potentially, yeah. But before you quit your day job and go build that dream home office, we've got to talk about what it really takes to succeed as an online tutor. Because it's not as easy as just like showing up and talking for an hour.
Right, there's got to be more to it than just knowing your stuff.
Yeah.
So what separates the rock star online tutors from those who might not be cut out for it? Okay, so we're talking about polishing up that virtual whiteboard, getting ready to like book those tutoring sessions. Let's dive into what makes these platforms different. We've got Preply, we've got Chegg Tutors. Besides languages versus STEM, what else sets them apart?
Honestly, choosing the right platform is huge. It's like, if you want to run a marathon, you don't just grab any pair of shoes, right?
Oh, no way. Blisters are not on the agenda. Got to find the right fit. So what are our must-haves when we're looking at these two specifically?
One big thing is like scheduling how much you're interacting with students directly. Preply is all about like autonomy. You set your rates, your availability, you even create your own lesson plans, the whole 9 yards.
So it's like you're your own boss, but they're bringing the students to you. I like that.
Exactly. Now Chegg Tutors, they've got more structure, they have a set hourly rate, and while you can say when you're generally free, a lot of it is students booking instant sessions. So whoever's online and ready to help right then, that's who gets the student.
Interesting. So Preply is more about like building your brand, maybe working with the same students long term, building those relationships. And Chegg is more about being that on-demand support.
Nailed it. So if you thrive on like crafting curriculum, having a consistent schedule, knowing who you're meeting with each week, Preply might be your thing.
But if you're someone who loves that always-on energy, meeting new students all the time, maybe Chegg Tutors is the better fit.
No, the commission structure, we touched on it, but it's worth a closer look, especially if, you're serious about this as income.
Yeah, let's talk numbers, because side hustle or full-time gig, we want to make sure it's worth it.
For sure. So Preply, they have this sliding scale commission, which can be really motivating, actually. The more you teach, the less they take. You can get down to like 18%, which is really good compared to some platforms.
So the more successful you are on their platform, the more of your earnings you keep. Makes sense.
Right. Now, Chegg Tutors at a flat $20 an hour, that might not sound as exciting at first, right? Especially if you're thinking, hey, I could charge more on my own. But here's the thing. Think about all the stuff independent tutors have to do. Marketing, finding students, scheduling, chasing down payments.
Like a whole other job.
Exactly. All that eats up time.
When you factor in that extra work, suddenly that $20 an hour from Chegg doesn't sound so bad. It's like they're your assistant handling all the annoying stuff.
Exactly. It comes down to what you value, right? Do you want that independence even with the extra hustle? Or do you want convenience even if it means a flat rate?
Right. It's like choosing between like being a chef who has total creative control but handles every single thing themselves, or being a line cook in a well-run restaurant. Maybe less freedom, but also way less responsibility and a steady paycheck.
And then there's the actual, like, subjects, the students themselves. Preply, with its language focus, you're going to get a really diverse group of people. You could have someone who's a total beginner one session, and then someone who needs help with, like, the business English.
It's got to be ready for anything, which could be exciting or totally overwhelming depending on the person.
Totally. Now, Chegg Tutors, because they're all about STEM and test prep, you're usually working with students who are, like, really struggling with specific concepts or have this big exam coming up.
Which probably comes with its own kind of pressure, right? Like you're really responsible for helping them get those results.
Absolutely. There's definitely a pressure to, like, deliver. But for a lot of tutors, that's what they love. Helping a student finally grasp that math concept or seeing their face when they nail a test they thought they'd fail, that's the good stuff.
So we've got Preply, which is like the Wild West of online tutoring. You choose your adventure, you're the boss. And then there's Chegg Tutors, which is more structured, more about results. Like a boot camp, but for learning.
That's a great way to put it. And they both have their strength, It really boils down to your teaching style, your goals, even just your personality.
Because at the end of the day, you want to be on a platform where you can shine, right? Where you can actually make a difference for your students and where you feel good about the work you're doing.
Exactly. And speaking of finding the right platform,
Yeah.
you're ready to, like, unearth a few hidden gems in the online tutoring world. There are even more options out there that might surprise you.
Hidden gems, huh? Okay, I'm intrigued. It's funny, like I went into this whole topic thinking, okay, online tutoring, I kind of get it, but there's so much more to it than I realized.
Oh, totally. It's way more diverse than people think. Like, have you heard of Schooly? They're all about working directly with schools, school districts.
So that's interesting. So if you're someone who really likes that idea of being part of an institution, maybe you have a background in traditional education, that could be a good fit.
Yeah. They often partner with schools to provide, like, extra support in core subjects. A lot of it is math and science. It's a cool way to blend, like, the best of both worlds, traditional education and the flexibility of online.
I bet that's really rewarding, especially if you're passionate about making sure students who might be falling behind or who just need that extra little bit of help, that they're not getting lost in the shuffle.
For sure. Okay, now, You were talking about language learning. We talked about Preply, but are there platforms specifically for like English as a second language, maybe something a little less, grammar heavy?
Yeah, less about like diagramming sentences, more about just like having a conversation, actually
Yeah.
using the language.
Right. There's Cambly. They're all about conversational English. Basically, they connect you with students all over the world who want to practice speaking English, improve their fluency,
Yeah.
maybe gain some confidence.
So it's almost like having a language exchange partner, but online and, you're getting paid for it.
That's it. And because it's conversational, you don't even necessarily need a teaching background. If you're a native English speaker and you like meeting people from different cultures, that's like 90% of what makes you a good fit for Cambly.
It's like you're getting paid to travel the world and make new friends, but from your computer.
Mm.
Okay, this is a little different, but we've been talking about platforms where you're like having these full-on tutoring sessions. What about those times when someone just needs help with a very specific thing? Like they have one question, one problem they're stuck on. Are there options for that?
Totally. That's where Q&A websites come in, students post their questions, and
Hmm.
then tutors, people like you, can swoop in with the answers.
I love that. Swoop in with the answers. So it could be anything from how do I solve for X in this ridiculously complicated equation to can someone please explain what Shakespeare was even talking about in Hamlet?
Exactly. So instead of planning a whole lesson, you're giving that like laser-focused support.
Yeah. And I bet you can often set your own rates with those too,
A
right?
lot of times, yeah. Which can be really lucrative, especially if you're good at something that's in high demand. And you have that flexibility. You can choose which questions you want to answer. Work as much or as little as you want.
It's almost like the difference between like having regular tutoring clients and then being this like expert for hire on call when someone needs you.
That's a great analogy.
This is blowing my mind. I bet our listeners sitting there thinking, okay, I had no idea there were so many ways to do this whole online tutoring thing. But let's zoom out for a second. We've talked about the what, right? The
Yeah.
platforms, the money, the tips. But what about the why? Why should someone even consider this?
That's the big question, right? And I think for a lot of people, it comes down to making a difference, sharing what you know, connecting with others, and seeing that moment when, like, something clicks for someone. That's powerful stuff.
There is something so rewarding about helping someone learn something new, about being like even a small part of that journey.
100%. And honestly, don't underestimate how much you learn and grow as a tutor, too. Think about the skills you develop: communication, patience, thinking on your feet. Those are valuable no matter what you do.
Totally. It's like you're investing in yourself at the same time as you're helping others level up. So for our listener who's out there, maybe on the fence about this whole online tutoring thing, what's the one thing we want them to take away from today?
Don't be afraid to just dive in and explore. Check out the different platforms, see what feels right, maybe try a few things out. You might be surprised at what you discover about yourself and about this whole world of online teaching.
That's such a great point to end on. Online tutoring is more than just a side hustle. It's a chance to learn, to grow, to make a real impact. And hey, who knows? You might even find a passion you never knew you had. That's it for our deep dive into the awesome world of online tutoring. We'd love to hear from you. Hit us up on social media. Let us know what you thought of today's episode and what you'd like us to explore next. Until then, stay curious out there.